Hey everybody, how's it going? Matthew Kadish here, author of the Earthman Jack Space Saga, available over on Amazon.com, so if you want to help support the channel, please go check it out. Today, what we're going to be checking out is some interesting Star Wars news. Now, for those of you out there who are maybe a little bit disenfranchised with the way Disney has been treating the Star Wars saga, kind of a popular mentality out there is that Star Wars is dead and Disney has been losing money on it, and nobody wants to see Rise of Skywalker, and that if it underperforms at the box office, that basically means that Star Wars is done for. And I've spent a lot of my time on social media and here on my YouTube channel kind of debunking these myths, because a lot of this mentality stems from a general ignorance as to how the industry of Hollywood actually works. And one of the things about the way Hollywood makes it profit from its movies is its diversification in what's called ancillary markets. I hope I pronounced that right. Ancillary markets. And these are basically markets that they can make money off their product from other than the theatrical box office. And Star Wars is one of the most beloved and successful brands in the entire world. And so Disney is one of the biggest and most successful companies in the world, and they know how to monetize this stuff. And one of the things about the Rise of Skywalker is that Disney, after the disaster that was the Solo Star Wars story box office, I think Disney kind of has smartened up a little bit in how they're preparing to profit from Episode 9. In that they're preparing to basically hedge their bets and minimize their risk on relying on the box office to break, let's say, $1 billion or what have you. And they're finding ways to tap ancillary markets in order to basically offset the cost of this movie and make sure that they pull in a profit from it. And this is something that a lot of people kind of ignore and they might find kind of boring and not interesting. But it's something I feel that it's important to talk about, because basically in order for Disney to actually make any changes, they have to feel some type of pain. And the box office failure of Solo and the damage to the brand that failure kind of precipitated, with also the poor performance of Galaxy's Edge and stuff like that, that I think has made Disney kind of wake up to the fact that they have been mishandling Star Wars in some way, shape, or form. Now, there are a lot of people out there who are saying that, as long as The Rise of Skywalker doesn't do well at the box office, that could be the final nail in the Disney coffin. But I want to share an article with you guys that kind of puts that story to rest. And that is this article from Entertainment Weekly. That says Disney to partner Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker with 8 major advertisers. And I found this article to be quite interesting. This is an article by James Hibbard, and it reads, "Feel the force of the all-electric 2020 Porsche Taycan. The Star Wars corporate galaxy is about to get more populated, with Disney lining up 8 major advertisers for The Rise of Skywalker. The blue chip list of partners includes Porsche, United Airlines, Samsung Mobile, Danone, Bose, GE Appliances, McDonald's, and General Mills." Yes, you read that right. 8 of the biggest companies in the world have lined up with Disney to do marketing and advertising campaigns based off of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. "We wanted for this last chapter in the saga to go and get really best-in-class companies," says Lyle Breener, Disney's Senior Vice President of Global Marketing Partnerships and Promotions. "The companies will be rolling out Skywalker-themed ad campaigns starting November 1st. And this is going to be part of the actual kind of hype train that Disney's going to be ramping up now that we're only about 3 months out from the movie itself. So in November, expect to just get hit over the head by advertisements for The Rise of Skywalker. And it's going to be helped by all these ancillary companies that signed this marketing pact. Naturally, there is no product placement in the fantasy film itself. Also, Skywalker talent will not appear in the ads, which can sometimes make for a bit of a branding challenge to cross-pollinate the Star Wars creative with contemporary products. It's a great creative challenge and is one of the things that is important. And one of the things that's important is choosing the right brands that will really step it up so it feels integrated, Breyer said. It feels celebratory and it works organically, so you never say, boy, why is this company partnering with Star Wars? We want it to feel seamless, unlike the thing they did with Coca-Cola, where they actually kind of put Coke in the movies. Or is it the theme parks? It's kind of weird because basically Coke exists in, Coca-Cola exists in the Star Wars universe now. Some of the details from a few of the ad partnerships: United Airlines will debut a special aircraft design in celebration of the conclusion of the Skywalker saga. Man, can you imagine if they figure out a way to make like a real Millennium Falcon? I think that'd be cool. I kind of doubt it, but Bose will provide audio augmented reality experiences through the official Star Wars app. Porsche will tout its first fully electric car. McDonald's will have themed Happy Meals, which will include one of 16 collectible characters. And General Mills will have codes on cereal boxes that can unlock a donation from the company to the Feeding America charity. The ads are made hand in hand with the filmmakers, Breyer says, and much of the creative is produced by Lucasfilm's Industrial Light and Magic. To kick off the announcement, the companies will reveal a first look Wednesday on social media at Skywalker's new droidsmith character, Babu Frick, which was first seen in toy form during the Triple Force Friday product reveal. The character works among the Spice Runners of Kijimi and can reprogram or modify virtually any droid, aka 3PO's Red Eyes, regardless of the security measures protecting its systems. So that's a bit of an interesting reveal there. But the long and short of this is that 8 major companies are shelling out money to Disney to have the license to promote Star Wars themed materials. And I wouldn't be surprised if the money that Disney made from the deal with these 8 major advertisers covered the entire cost of the movie. We all know famously that The Last Jedi cost something like $320 million. And of course, it made over $1 billion at the box office, so that cost was offset. But from this article, like, I have no idea what these... I mean, to some of these advertisers, $1 billion is nothing. Like McDonald's, for instance. McDonald's advertises constantly, like $100 million is probably like a fraction of their advertising budget. So I wouldn't be surprised if Disney was able to broker some type of deal with all these advertisers where, yeah, there's no product placement, but we're going to give you access to high quality special effects and stuff from the movies to make commercials that you can use to not only promote this movie, but promote like your new products or your new designs or what have you, or new promotions, and get people to associate the Star Wars brand with you guys and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Disney made $300 million off of this deal alone. And if that is the case, if Disney has indeed pulled off this marketing coup and gotten the full budget of the Rise of Skywalker already taken care of, 2 months, 3 months before release, this is a big freaking deal, because basically that means everything from that point onward is pure profit for Disney. And let's be a little bit conservative and say like maybe they just recovered half of the Rise of Skywalker's budget from this deal with these 8 major advertisers. Let's say anywhere between $100 and $150 million. That's still a big deal, because it means that even if The Rise of Skywalker doesn't perform up to expectations in the cinema, as long as it does better than Solo, it will be considered not only a creative hit, but a financial hit as well, at least by Disney's standards. Because so long as, I feel like as long as this movie makes something around the neighborhood of 700 to 800 million, Disney's going to consider that a big success, especially compared to what Solo did at the box office. But if it should hit $1 billion, if it should just eke by and hit that $1 billion mark, it's even more gravy for Disney, Because in addition to these 8 major advertisers, don't forget all the licensing deals that they're doing with this stuff. All their video games with EA are going to go up in price, and I think they're set to release that new Star Wars video game around the time that this comes out, maybe late November. Also, it's books, it's merchandising, like it's shirts, it's lunchboxes, it's toys, all this stuff. All this stuff is going to get a boost. And Disney is going to be taking in money hand over fist. And so there is no way, no possible way, at least as I see it, that The Rise of Skywalker is going to be a financial disappointment for Disney. If anything, they've already made their money back on this movie. And going forward, any money they make at the box office is going to be on top of the money that they've already recouped from licensing deals and from, advertising deals like the one I just shared with you. So for all those naysayers out there who are claiming that Disney Star Wars is dead, that it's a failure, that there's no way Disney can continue on this path, that its shareholders are upset because it's not making any money, do not listen to them, because they don't understand the business model that Disney is following with this. Disney never loses on this stuff. If anything, they just take a small hit and then they readjust and they fix things, just like they did with Solo, just like they did with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. They learn from their mistakes and they readjust. And a lot of this stuff is pretty common in the movie business, because in addition to this, they're going to be selling the foreign rights to it. They're going to be selling the rights to show it on airplanes. They're going to be, doing all types of stuff in these different ancillary markets that Hollywood relies on to basically make money off this thing. There's no such thing as a Star Wars movie that will ever lose money. Even Solo, since it underperformed at the box office, was able to make its money back at a certain point and probably recoup a small, return on that. It's not going to be the most successful Star Wars movie ever made, but it would ultimately not be a money loser for Disney. It just took a little bit longer to hit that break-even point, probably. But even then, I'm sure that some of the ancillary deals that they made with Solo, A Star Wars Story, probably carried that movie over the finish line early on. And so even though they considered Solo to be a big disappointment, it didn't cost them all that much. And so fans of Star Wars need to be aware going forward that this is the type of thing that you're dealing with. And so you can't just rely on financial failures to motivate these companies to change how they handle these franchises. You have to be vocal and respectful in your criticism, and you have to be persistent, and you need to actually understand how Hollywood does business so that you're not taken in by some of these fraudulent headlines and clickbaity headlines that certain websites put out in order to drive clickbait traffic and clickbait clicks so they can make money off of their advertising. Because this is the type of thing that could be the difference between a legit course correction for Disney, fueled by fans, and Disney just ignoring ignorant people and continuing to kind of go in their own route and alienate even more fans from the fan base. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this. Do you want me to kind of expand upon these Inside Baseball Hollywood videos a little bit more? What do you think of the future of Star Wars? Are you going to go see The Rise of Skywalker? Let me know in the comments. And as always, for more entertainment, film, and TV news and analysis, subscribe to my channel. This is Matthew Kadish, and I will catch you guys in the next video.